The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
I have to tell you another story. So I get this call yesterday from a rabbi in Eretz Yisrael, and Rabbi Auerbach. Some of you might know him. He has a seminary in Eretz Yisrael called Ber Miriam. I don't know if anyone ever here went to Ber Miriam, but Rabbi Auerbach's a pretty serious cookie. So he doesn't call me very often. And yesterday I see my phone, Israel. I was busy, but I didn't pick it up. Finally I picked it up. I'm like, hello. He says, oh, Rabbi Zecharia. It's Rabbi Auerbach. So usually I speak to him, getting this girl in, getting that girl out. What did she do? Why aren't you taking her? He says, no, it's not about girls. I have to tell you what just happened. I'm like, okay. He says, my daughter, he said I could say B'Shem Amro. He says, my daughter works in an office, B'Shem Amro, in the name of the person who said it to him. He says, my daughter works in an office, and her co-worker has a brother in Gaza, and he's in the Golani Brigade. And these guys, Nebuch, have to go into the tunnels. These are the guys who are getting killed. They have to go into the tunnels where these guys booby trapped, they're waiting for him, whatever it is. So he says, my brother just called me. Listen to this. He says, my brother just called me. She had to tell me what in the office. She was shaking. And he said that they went on a mission. There's 25 guys in this brigade. And they come to this house, and they know that there's a tunnel in this house. So it's interesting, in the Jewish army, it's very different than the rest of the world. If you learn Navi, right, David HaMelech went in front. The generals go in front of the army. They don't stand in the back and send their men in. They go in front. They lead. Shaul went in front. They always went in front. So in Israel, the captains and the general, they're in front, right? They go in first. So this group is like 25 guys. So whatever he is, the colonel, the lieutenant said, okay, I'm going to take 6 guys. We're going to go into this building. We're going to go into the tunnel. You guys stay outside. Surround the building. Make sure we don't get attacked from the outside. Okay? We'll let you know what happens. It's very, very dangerous. These 6 guys go in. Okay? They go in 15 minutes, 20 minutes. The radio guy from the outside is like, Captain, where are you? And there's no answer. And he's like, Captain, where are you? Answer me. And there's no answer. So he says to the guys, uh-oh. Now the worst thing right now, so we know, is to get captured. That's what they want. They want to capture an Israeli, right? And he's thinking, why aren't they answering? So he gathers the men and he says, okay, we'll leave 4 guys out here. The rest of us, we got to go in. It looks like they got captured. Something's going on in the tunnel. I'm repeating what the rabbi told me, okay? So it seems to be buzzing around there. It's Israel also. So they come into this house. And there's a tunnel. They see the tunnel. Standing in front of the tunnel is a rabbi. A rabbi. Long beard, black hat. They even described the hat that he was wearing. A long frock, like a Rosh Hashiva. Standing in front of the tunnel. Now you can imagine these guys come in, they got their night vision things on, with their guns. And there's a rabbi in the middle of Gaza, standing in a house by a tunnel. So they're speaking Ivrit. They speak Ivrit to the rabbi. They say, what are you doing here? This is Gaza. Wait, get away from the tunnel. What are you doing here? And he looks at them. And you can call him up if you don't believe me. This rabbi looks at them and says, get out of here now. Because if you don't, there are going to be many widows and orphans. Get out now. Now they're looking at him. What are you talking like? We hear stories about Leonavi and this stuff. But come on, it doesn't really happen, right? And they're like, we're missing our men. We have 6 men down there. We need to go down there. We need to find our men. And he's like, in Ivrit, get out of the house now. So the head guy that's below the guy that went the captain, he's like, I don't know who you are, Rabbi, but you need to move. Because if you don't move, we're going to make you move because I got to go down in that tunnel and get my captain back. And he says, listen to me. It's not about me. It's about you. Get out of the house now. And this soldier says, okay, this guy's not listening to me. I'm going to move him out of the way. And he puts his hands on him, and his hands go right through him. I promise you. I didn't make up this story. And his hands go right through him. And these guys are fainting. They're like, what? And this person's talking to him, and he has his hands through him. And he says, you must leave right now. And just at that moment, these 6 guys come out of the tunnel. They were so deep that the radio did not work. And these 6 guys come out of the tunnel, and they see this rabbi. And he's sort of blocking them from coming out, whatever it is. And they also try to push him out of the way. So now everyone's putting their hands through this guy, right? And he's not there. And he turns to one of them and he says, this is the last time I'm telling you, you have 5 seconds. get out of this house, or there'll be Yisayimim and Almanas. He's talking Ivrit the whole time, and they run out of the house, because at this point they're going crazy. It's a malach. When you put your hand through someone, it's a little scary. And they all ran out of the house. He says they were, mamish, 20 steps from the house, and this house goes up. It was booby trap. It was full of TNT. This house goes up. There wouldn't have been a piece left of any of them. And a lot of these guys were not religious, and they're like, there's a God, and there are malachim. And I'm going to tell you something which I don't want to even say, because this rabbi said it to me, and I'm like, if I say that, they're all going to just like, okay, rabbi, you're out of your mind. That when he spoke, which was really made them crazy, when he spoke from his mouth, the words came out, but also fire came out. And now you're laughing. I'm not laughing. I'll tell you why I'm not laughing. Avivita's here. And I think she was here anyway. And her cousin was in our office for a while. He came to America for a year. And he was in a brigade in the war with Lebanon. And he was there. He was a commando. And he told me that in Lebanon, and there were many soldiers that came back from Lebanon, that they were in a firefight, shooting, with the Arabs, and they were running into a building. And they were trying to escape. They were running into a building, and there was a woman. He told me, he said, Rabbi Wallerstein, and he's not Dati, right? Yet. Not Dati yet, right? And he said, we come to this building, and this woman's here, right? And she turns to us, and we don't know Jew, Arab, she's all dressed in black, and she speaks Ivrit. And she says, it's booby trap. Don't go into this house. Whatever you do, don't go into this house. Run down the street. Do not go into this house. It's totally booby trap, whatever it is. And they're looking at this woman. They think she's an Arab. She's a Jew. Maybe she wants to go to the booby trap house, whatever it is. And then she says something in Hebrew like, Bezrat Hashem, you'll be okay. And they're like, that ain't no Arab. And they ran to another house. And that house that they were supposed to go into, Gabunga, it just totally blew up. This guy told me, not a rabbi, this soldier told me. He says, I want you to know something. He says, we came at the end of the war, so all the guys, at the end of the Lebanon war, we're all standing out there, and we're talking about this, and we're telling these guys, did you see that woman in Lebanon? Did you see that? We saw a woman, and she told us, and all of a sudden this guy, what are you talking about? The one in black? She told us not to go here, she told us not to go there, and all of a sudden all these units are talking about this lady who was telling them, go here, don't go here, go here, don't go there. Mama Rachel, Amalach, the Shechina, I have no idea. But these are soldiers, this is not a story. These are soldiers that there was such a person, and a woman in black that was in this war, that was telling the soldiers, and it became a thing. They were all talking about her. So we don't hear these stories. We just hear about missiles and bombs. God is working really hard, and He's doing many, 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 many miracles. And we have to thank Him for that.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org